Hi, I'm Simone from PinchAPennyGardener. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about sweet potatoes. So the interesting thing about me and sweet potatoes is that I had given up on learning how to plant sweet potatoes because I did all the YouTube things. I looked at some of the garden channels. I looked at some of the farmers on YouTube, and my sweet potatoes were just not coming in. Just not coming. I would get the leaf, but I would not get the sweet potato at all. I mean, I cleared the dirt, I did it in a pot, I did all of that. But my sweet potatoes were not coming in. They would come like this, little tiny sweet potatoes, like, I called them, they looked like carrots. They didn't look like sweet potatoes at all. So I was really frustrated. So out of pure frustration, I took one of those little carrot ones that I had, size ones, little tiny ones, you know, some of them you probably have had them, and I just threw it here in one of my leftover pots. And when I threw it over in one of my leftover pots, to my amazement, it grew. It grew all of this. And then I found that in here, I have a big sweet potato that to me, I'm very proud of, and I know that it's ready to come up. Ready. But here you can see is another one of those sweet potato runts that I didn't think were going to come into anything. But again, look, it's growing its own. So I'm really excited. But also, I'm a little frustrated because it's in a shallow pot, a very shallow pan here. See? Very shallow. But I did nothing to it. I literally just put it out here, like this is my throwaway pan. I really just put it in here and it started growing. So I'm proud of it. Okay, so because of that potato, I got inspired to try it again. So I want to show you really how the stages work when you're doing a sweet potato. First, I'm going to show you this really close up so you can see. When a sweet potato starts to root, it gives you this little tiny little thing here. See that? It's really tiny. Then it begins to develop these roots. Now in this case, this sweet potato, it just because I bought sweet potato and then I didn't bake the sweet potato, it started growing its own roots. So here it is. So this is it. This is orange sweet potato. Inside of this is orange. So it continues to grow like this in different stages. And that's a good healthy stage here. Now, some people that I know what they do is they'll go ahead and they cut the sweet potato off. This is a YouTuber. They cut the sweet potato off, and when they cut the sweet potato off, they put it in water. So there you go. You're going to get this from this little tiny right here. If you're lucky and you put it in the water, then you're going to get this. And you see how nice it's grown? Because I did go ahead and I put a piece of sweet potato in the water and all these roots started coming. But I used a little tiny jar, I got it rooted, and it came here, and I was really surprised. This happened actually in a matter of 2 weeks. This started happening like this. Now, you would think, okay, what happens next? Just put this little baby here into the ground and I'll get sweet potatoes. No, because it's not this that causes a sweet potato, it is these vines. These little vines themselves, they're gonna have to get roots. And once these vines themselves grow roots, then that's when you put that in the ground. Because when you put that in the ground, that is when the sweet potato starts to form from this base right here. So you would just have to take it off of the actual sweet potato. And I'm gonna see, I have this one right here, and I'm gonna show you. It should just come right off of the potato. See, it just comes right off. And so now I have a vine with a root structure. I should be able to put this in the ground and the sweet potato should develop from this. Again, like I've said, if you're lucky, because I have gotten this far and all I've ever gotten is the sweet potato leaves. But I'm not going to be disheartened because I discovered that the sweet potato leaves in themselves have their own nutrition value. They're very high in iron. They taste just like spinach. And you cook it just like spinach, and it cooks down just like spinach. So it's very tasty. So when I didn't get my sweet potato, I didn't feel so bad because what I did was I went ahead and I ate the leaves. And if you do decide not to try to produce a potato, if you just put this in, structured like this will continue to produce leaves over and over again for you. And you have a very nice vegetable that's high in iron. Okay, I don't know if it's a vegetable, but since I equate it to being spinach, I'm gonna call it a vegetable until somebody, of course, out there tells me it's not a vegetable, Simone. I have planted the sweet potato here. I've planted sweet potato in the ground, and you can see right here, it's taking good hold here. I'm hoping that in this container here that I planted the sweet potatoes, that I'm going to get the potato itself, like I did in that little pan over there. But again, if I don't, I'm going to eat the leaves. I've actually planted two variations. This one is the yellow sweet potato, and this one is the purple sweet potato. So I'm going to see which one does better. Now, I know people are going to say to me, well, it's not a really big container, so you're not going to get big sweet potatoes. But I'm just trying to see if I get at least 5 sweet potatoes. I'm not trying to go all out today. I just want to make sure that it works. And if it does work, then I can repeat it, and I can then grow sweet potatoes in a bigger container, and more potatoes will come out. Now, I can't wait to see how this happens because I'm excited to try it again. Never give up. This has been Simone from PinchAPennyGardener. Don't forget to like and subscribe.